18, 19 stone, well built, muscular build, not fat, with rolls of fat down the back of his neck, short hair, and he was wearing a gold hooped earring in his left ear. And he had a mobile phone which the aerial actually lit up when the phone rung, which is quite unusual and very rare to see.
I know he had that expression, sweet man, sweet. That's something that particularly distinctive to him. So
That's
perhaps
it, yeah.
if anyone recognises that. If you know anything, if you recognise that phrase, that phone, perhaps if you're the unwitting owner of that Porsche now, call us in the studio on 0500 600 600. That's on the screen for most of the show. Or the help desk on 02476 539 020.
The taste of paradise was not enough for this robber. He went into a petrol station at Abingdon in Cambridge on 6th of March and picked up a bounty bar. Next, after climbing onto the counter and menacing the assistants, he had grabbed a handful of notes and ran off. Now, is this him again at a service station on the A505? This time there's an accomplice and they're armed with a hammer and a crowbar. We're calling him the Bounty Bar Man. If you know him, please give us a call, 01480 456 111.
Take a look at this character with the baseball cap. He's robbed building societies in Derby, Stoke-on-Trent and Stafford. And here he is at the Alliance and Leicester in Stoke on Wednesday, February the 9th. He's calm, smartly dressed and carries a gun. And each time he's wearing the same hat. He never gets agitated or shouts. Give us a call if you recognise baseball cap robber, 01785 234 034.
Twice before, we've appealed on one of the most shocking crimes in Britain since the war. We promised we'd stay with it, and here we are again. It's the murder of 3 generations of the same family at the home in Clydach in Swansea a year ago. What we know is that Mandy Power had been babysitting. She came home in a taxi late on Saturday night on the 26th of June. With her were her daughters, 8-year-old Emily and 10-year-old Katie. In the next few hours, something terrible happened. The fire brigade was called at 4 in the morning and found the house had been deliberately set ablaze. Before that, the whole family had been bludgeoned to death, along with Mandy's 80-year-old mother, Doris. Now, we had a lot of calls last year, several of which helped move the inquiry forward, but still, nobody has been charged. But now, as we approach the first anniversary, the father of the 2 dead girls speaks out for the first time about his memories of them, and his hope is that this will prompt witnesses to call in.
The day that they were born, well, it makes you feel proud now. I can enjoy all the time I spend with them. Anytime. It just makes me feel good. Good about myself. Katie was quite outgoing, bubbly, and then Emily was quite she liked girly things. Sarah, my partner, she said there'd been a terrible tragedy. And she said the 2 girls had died. It doesn't really hit you straight, you know, it's as if you're dreaming. If it's not real, I just try not to think about it. I try not to go places that I know will remind me of it.
In fact, you've been making progress in this, I think, quite a lot, just in the last few days. There are 2 women you want to appeal about tonight. One of them entirely new, one we've appealed about before. Tell us about the new one.
Well, there's been a significant development within this case, certainly in the last 10 days. We need desperately to trace a woman that we know that was drinking in the Farmer's Arms public house about 3 weeks before the murder with Mandy.
That's about a year ago now.
About a year ago, yeah. She's described as being in her 20s, cropped blonde hair, and a very distinctive diamond stud in her nose. Now, I believe that Mandy told her something very, very specific and very, very important.
This woman is not a suspect?
Not a suspect, a key witness. I'd love her to come forward.
Now, the second woman is one we appealed about before. She was the one who took a taxi from the Mond and finished up in Kelvin Road, which is pretty much outside Mandy's house. She didn't come forward last time, but you've got something new about her, what?
Well, we've had over 200 calls in relation to this female. Unfortunately, a lot of those who refer to women have been rather larger. We've now produced an artist impression, which is supposed to be a very, very good likeness of this woman. Now, it may well be that this woman went to the scene and, in fact, got out of the taxi and did not go to number 9 Kelvin Road. She's been described in the media as being the suspect. Can I say that I've never said that? I believe that she's key to this investigation. She could have gone to the murder scene either just before the murders or indeed just after the murders.
Certainly the way she's dressed, she doesn't look as though she's gone out for a multiple killing. She's been out on a Saturday night in Clydach.
Exactly, and it's vital we speak to her. Now, if the scenario I've given is correct, I really want her to come forward. I can assure her that we can speak to her in strictest confidence. She can come anywhere, at any place, and we'll meet her.
Okay, well, if it's you, easily recognisable. You are fairly small, incidentally, size 8 or 10, I think, slim, 20s, 30s, and only about 5'3". There is a £30,000 reward in this case, incidentally. The numbers, well, they're on the screen, both here in the studio and the murder inquiry room itself. This is the biggest murder inquiry Wales has ever known. This woman is going to be found sometime, but please come forward yourself now. As you hear, you've got nothing to fear by coming forward. 01792 562 731.
The May Day anti-capitalist riots caused widespread damage to central London, and last month we appealed for your help in identifying some of those involved. The day after the programme, a 23-year-old hospital worker from Kilmarnock in Ayrshire phoned the police. He's now been charged with violent disorder, burglary and 2 counts of criminal damage. Last month we also asked you to tell us the whereabouts of a bogus plumber who'd been doing the rounds of social clubs in the southwest of England. A viewer recognised someone in a London pub after watching the programme and called the police. David Archer has been charged with numerous offences of deception. Thursday nights. Notice anything different about them? Do you know somebody who often goes out alone on Thursdays and may stay out all night? In the Chichester and Bognor area of Sussex, a man has carried out 14 sex attacks for the past 4 years, and he nearly always strikes late on Thursdays or into the early...
Chichester, college years are supposed to be the best time of your life, but not at all.
I mean, I have my bad days and I have my good days, you know, but the worst time is like late at night. I hate being on my own now.
At the beginning, there seemed to be a clear pattern to the attacks. The women were mainly foreign students, Greek, Italian, Asian. 3 were Oriental. Most with a link to the Technology College in Chichester. But then some of his victims were even younger.
He was actually sort of in the woods next to the lane as she walked past, and she noticed him but didn't really pay any attention because there were some eco-warriors who were actually living in that copse at the time, and she was walking quite normally down the lane and was aware that this man was now following her.
Don't make a sound or a squeak. Give me your money.
I've only got 3p. Why are you doing this? I'm only 12.
We need the money.
Put your blazer over your head. Take your clothes off.
No.
You can leave your bra and knickers on.
No.
She absolutely refused to cooperate. I mean, she's 12 years old. It was broad daylight and she was in her school uniform. As a mother, it's really very hard to understand, you know, the mind of a man that can do this.
In the end, he just searched her bag. He wore a grey Calvin Klein t-shirt, had stubble and short, sticking up dark hair. Bizarrely, as he ran off, the girl saw him pull on a balaclava. But his face stayed with her, and she saw him again, 2 months later in Chichester town centre near the Cross. He didn't notice her, but was speaking on a bright yellow mobile phone. Does he live in Chichester? Do you recognise the phone? He was wearing a waist-length black leather jacket. A number of his victims have seen it. The street assaults continued, but since February, attacks in the home have become more frequent. Still on Thursdays, again using burglary as his excuse, and all while women are asleep.
Yeah, I was living in a student house with 3 other girls, and I've got this pet rat, and when he hears people up and about talking and things, he gets all excited. The next thing I remember was waking up with someone's hand over my mouth.
Keep quiet, boy. Your dad owes me money. Where's the box?
I don't know, I haven't got any money.
Keep quiet. Keep quiet.
He was saying, shh, be quiet or I'm going to rape you. You must be quiet or I will rape you. But because of my rat making all the noise, the man obviously got scared.
If that rat doesn't shut up, I'm going to eat it.
He was very, very nervous. There was no doubt about it. he was pacing up and down as if he didn't know what to do next.
That's indeed.